another question.
Okay.
That I think might be really, really helpful is, so in your words, Eric, what would you say, or how would you describe the difference between a body and a soma?
Well, the body, you can look that up in your anatomy book. You can say this is it. This is the fact. It appears to be fact. We have these nerves and bones and structural fiber or fascia, and it's controlled by a nervous system and muscles and all these complicated, beautiful things that allow us to do these, be human and live our lives. But we know that we're more than a body. What we actually have is the experience of our body. Okay? Our awareness pervades into our anatomy. We're able to direct our awareness to places. And a soma is this brain-body together, this sensing being that has the experience. I can understand and know I have this anatomy intellectually, but the experience of it is a very different thing. To say like, oh, I'm closing my eyes and I'm moving my fingers, can I tell in space where my fingers are? Boy, some of them I can't put my awareness out there. That's the disconnection. Well, how much else of that is in your body? When people lie down, I'm saying more, asking more to people. It's like, can you sense where your leg is? Do you know in your space? Can you sense the depth of your torso, the thickness of it off the table? Is one side more clear? Are you more connected? Do you know one side better than the other? It's these gaps in our knowing that allow these problems to rise and persist. So our soma is, in my take on it, is that we have like a distortion, that we perceive ourselves one way. The anatomy is something true, that's true, but our perception, our internal experience of our anatomy is very distorted. Even I do this work a lot, and I still find it's like, wow, I have a long way to go. The guy who came up with this, Hanna, he said, well, you'll never get there. That's true. You can never, maybe I challenge you, but what does it take to have a perfect self-knowing? Well, we have to grow into that. And because of stress and injury and all these things that have made us adapt the perception of ourselves. When something's persistently tight, it's not just functionally, neurologically, it's not giving feedback back to your brain. So the brain, since we know the brain's always rewiring, it just says, well, that doesn't deserve a lot of attention, a lot of space in that sensory motor cortex. So it begins to disregard these places that are held tight. It thinks that in a way that they don't exist. They're not really there. And it puts its awareness somewhere else. I think about it as like somatic distortion. How we know that the anatomy is there, but does your experience reflect that? Is it true to the anatomy? No. The experience is very different than the anatomy. Mm-hmm. That, I think, that shows that they're different, at least. Mm-hmm. What their true nature is, our experience is somatic. That's what the experience is. The first person experience. The third person experience is a body.